Hello everyone. I hope आप सभी लोग बहुत अच्छे होंगे. So today England defeated India in the first Test match. It was a nail-biting thriller by 28 runs. Um, England were lagging behind a lot. In fact, India dominated 90% of the match, but that 10% um, where England dominated, especially Oliver Pope's inning just changed the complexion of the game, and on one, by the end of first inning, England were trailing by 190 odd runs, and because of that amazing inning, in our left to chase 230 in the fourth inning, which was not going to be an easy task. So we are going to discuss about this test match, what went wrong, what were the few things which where India missed, to be precise, how they lost a match after dominating that match 90% for the 90% of the time is something which we are going to discuss. But before we start this video, I have this humble request. Please subscribe to my channel. Like this video, give me a valuable comment, whatever you feel. You can give me your feedback, what is wrong, whether what I'm saying in the video, if you are you agree to it or not. Even if you don't agree, that's okay, because it's always good to have different point of opinion. I would love to hear what you think about it. So please subscribe to my channel. It's a new channel, and I definitely need your help to grow my channel. Thank you very much. Great. So we watched a thriller today, a test match where England were almost out of the door. They just got a small window, and they just cashed in, and they won the first test match by 28 runs, similar to how they started their campaign last time when they toured India in 2020, or although later on they ended up losing next four test matches. So it will be interesting to see how things goes on in next four test matches. But for the moment, definitely England were a better side, at least in last for three sessions today, and at least for one session yesterday. So for four sessions, they were better team than India, and definitely by winning four sessions in succession, they won this test match. There were different reasons, but in my point of view, there were four main reasons why India lost this test match, and these reasons are the first point was England batsman strategy to sweep. They played slog sweep, reverse sweep, conventional sweep. It derailed Indian bowlers. Second was Indian batsmen. They literally gifted their wicket in the first inning. Third point was, of course, the magical inning, Oliver Pope's greatest inning of his career so far, which really gave that miraculous chance to England to put a decent total on the board and ask India to chase. And the last one was lack of foot movement by Indian batsmen in the second inning. Like Rohit Sharma said, that Indian players were not brave enough in their chase in 231. So we are going to discuss all these points one by one. The first one was sweep. So not only England, any team. So whether it's New Zealand, or whether it's Australia, England, South Africa, whenever these SENA countries come to India, they always rely a lot on sweep. They play all kind of sweep with the with test matches becoming very fast. We know how England play their cricket, their test match cricket as well, with Bazball. So a reverse sweep has started becoming very very common in test matches as well. I remember earlier Andy Flower, he really derailed Indian bowlers by playing reverse sweep way back in 2001 2022. There were other batsmen also who played it, but definitely the reverse sweep is something which really derailed Indian bowlers. Uh, Pitch was turning, but it was slow. So all the ball was keeping low, but it was slow. So it was, I mean, batsmen, even if they were getting beaten in the flight, they have enough time to adjust to play their shots, especially when you're sweeping. So you know that when even if you're late on the shot, you can go ahead and you can play those shots. It really put a lot of pressure on bowlers like Ravichandran Ashwin and Jadeja, Akshar Patel. I mean, um, it hardly happens that a touring team. I mean, England. If you look at England bowlers, Mark Wood did not take even a single wicket in both the innings. All 20 wickets were taken by England spinners, whereas from India's in Indian bowlers, Bumrah took what 6 wickets out of 20, and rest was were taken by spinners. So that shows that India has to rely a lot on Bumrah, whether it was for breaking partnerships or for those reverse sweep, reverse swing, which he's pretty good at. So this is something which Indian spinners have to think about, because in all the test matches, England is going to play with the same strategy. See, they need to understand, Indian team management coach, they have to understand that Bazball is not only a technique, but it's their now it is going to be their playing style. Okay, and they don't care about the result. Even if they are losing, that's okay. They are going to play their shots. We saw how a lot of England batsmen, especially in the first inning, they got out, and by playing, by trying to be aggressive, but they have not changed their batting strategy in the second inning. In fact, players who were not aggressive enough, like Ben Stokes, Johnny Bairstow, they ended up losing their wicket. Whereas players like who were aggressive, like Ben Duckett, Crawley, initially, even their bowlers, they were pretty aggressive. They were able to score runs. So they are definitely going to come hard on Indian spinners, and they have to patient. They have to be patient. Uh, it does, if they start sweeping, that does not mean that you will stop bowling outside the off stump, which India did a lot. I mean, if you look at England bowlers, their spinner who took 7 innings in the second inning, he continuously he bowled at the off stump, and most of the players, they ended up getting out when ball kept low outside the off stump, or it just turned a bit and they were out LBW, or got bat in bag. So definitely they are going to come hard again, England players, and this is something on which India has to work upon, how they can they can navigate bowling, how they can avoid, what is the solution of this sweep, which England players are playing very beautifully. In fact, their opener Ben Duckett, he said that he has 12 different kind of sweep shots. So definitely, it is not going to be easy. Second point was how Indian top order batsmen, they literally threw their wicket in the first inning. India were lucky that because of their Bazball technique, England ended up scoring a very below par score, that it was 240 in the first inning, 246. India had they got all out on the first day. In fact, India played around 22-23 overs, and India got amazing start because of Jaiswal and Rohit Sharma. Uh, what should have been Indian strategy was to bat at least for the third day. That is around, I would say, 6 sessions plus 22 overs was what they played on the first day. See, I understand that they were playing. They tried to be aggressive, and most of the Indian batsmen, they got a good start, and they were able to score good run. In fact, three batsmen, Jadeja, Rahul, and Jaiswal, they got out in 80s. However, because they ended up throwing their wicket, all of them except Jadeja, they got out by when they tried to play big shots. Rohit Sharma, Shubham Gill, Jaiswal, Rahul, Shreyas Iyer, Akshay Patel, all of them. They just lost their wicket by trying to be aggressive. Whereas England were really struggling. They made a mess of their team's selection was very wrong. They ended up playing three spinners and only a single pacer, Mark Wood, which really backfired because on the first day itself, Jack Leach got injured while fielding and he was not able to bowl a lot. At that time, Indian batsmen, they could have seized the initiative, and rather than scoring 426 odd runs, which was a good score, I'm not saying that it was not a good score, they could have scored maybe 100 or 150 runs more. They could have easily scored 500 to 500, anything between 520 to 550 runs in the first inning, and that could have been enough. See, when you talk about scoring more runs, when you talk about batting more on Indian pitches, you're also giving your bowler more chance, because the more you're batting, the more time you have spent on the pitch, it makes pitch more, more wear and tear happens in the pitch, and definitely it would have been tough for England batsmen if, rather than getting out in the first half an hour on the third day, if India could have played maybe two more sessions, added 100 odd, maybe 150 runs more, things would have been different. Definitely, it was a moment which India. I mean, at that moment, India gave that that small window for England to make a comeback. Third point was, of course, Oliver Pope's inning. It was really magical, amazing inning. I recall there were two other match where Indian spinners, they had no answers when someone started playing aggressively when their team was trailing. So I believe around 7-8 years ago, India were playing against Sri Lanka in Sri Lanka, and India took a good lead. I believe something in the vicinity of 170 runs lead, and Sri Lanka they were struggling. They lost their 5 wickets on 100 odd runs, including Sangakkara, their main batsman, and they were really looking down the barrel. But then their batsman Dinesh Chandimal play one, just like how Oliver Pope played today. He played amazing magical inning. I believe he played somewhere around 150, 160 odd runs, and India got a target of, I believe, somewhere around 140, 150 runs, but it was a lot against Hartley, and India lost that match. Similarly, in 2022, just in December, when India toured Bangladesh in the second Test match, same thing happened. I don't remember who was that batsman, but one of the Bangladesh batsmen, he just played aggressively, and at one time in Bangladesh were trailing, but because of that aggressive inning, they ended up giving a target of 150 odd runs to India. And again, if not for Ashwin's amazing performance, India would have lost that match. So in this match, if you look what Oliver Pope did, he he mixed caution, defense game with aggression. He played a lot of sweep, all kind of sweep, some unconventional shots. Yes, he was fortunate a couple of times, but that is definitely, if someone is playing such a great inning, he needs some stroke of luck. There were a lot of times when he played shots in which he was not in control, but ball dropped at a place where there was no fielder. There was one catch which Akshay Patel dropped of Oliver Pope as well. One thing what Oliver Pope did was he did not allow any spinner to bowl outside the off stump or from where it can be difficult for him to, or where ball can do some magic because of wear tear. He played sweep constantly, and all the three spinners have no answers to his batting. In the end, if not for Bumrah, he might have ended up scoring a double century as well. So yeah, this is definitely going to be a tough, a very important and difficult thing, which India need to overcome if they have to win this series. Um, they have 4 more matches to play. The last point, which I believe was reason for India's loss, was Indian batsmen. They have not used their feet in the second inning. I mean, in the first inning, all the batsmen, whether it was Jaiswal, Rahul, um, Iyer, in fact, Bharat, keeper, Rohit, everyone was using their feet, both for defending and for playing pick shots. And they ensured that debut bowler, I'm forgetting his name, who took 7 wickets today. They attacked him. They never allowed him to settle down. The same strategy could have been used today while chasing 231. If initially, unlike first inning, Jaiswal was pretty slow to start, whereas if he has played the same kind of inning, maybe played some aggressive shots by coming out of the crease, it would have put pressure on the England bowlers. Although Indian openers give decent opening, both Rohit and Jaiswal, they gave the decent opening around 50 odd runs, but they could have played, they could have added few more runs. The same thing happened with Shubham Gill, who is really struggling badly, and definitely I'm not sure what team management is thinking. He should have been dropped a while ago. Even he in this match, he was fortunate enough that Virat Kohli just withdrew from the first 2 test matches. Else he would have been dropped from this test match. He's badly struggling. Same thing, Iyer, Rahul, they were playing good. They were pretty in control, but they were not using their feet. Also, unlike first inning, all these players, Rahul, Iyer, they were pretty, they were pretty defensive, which was not at all required. See, if you talk about Indian batsmen are not known to play sweep shots, and this pitch, because it was slow and low, so playing cross batted shots were not that easy. I mean, players like Iyer, KL Rahul, even Rohit Sharma, they are very good player of spin, and I have seen them playing, cut shots even when the ball is at the wickets. Off stump, middle stump, they have seen them cutting and getting 4 runs. But here things were different because ball was keeping low, so it was difficult to play those cut shots. And the only solution would have been to use their feet, come out of the crease, give that charge. Even if you're taking singles, the thing is, when you start using your field, when you start using your feet, you give put bowler in dilemma, because when you're using your feet, he has to change his length, and in that moment of time, he might end up giving you a ball which you can hit out of the park. So this was definitely a big miss from Indian batsmen. To be very frank, I'm not saying that chasing 231 was going to be easy, but it was not that tough. It was, again, pitch was not at all that bad for batting. We saw how England, even tailenders, they were playing good. Even players like Indian bowlers like Ashwin, he played decently well. Bharat, in fact, Bumrah and Siraj, they had a good, I believe, 15, 20, 22 runs partnership, and they showed that yes, they are there to fight it out. So this was missing from Indian top order batting, and it is really a cause of concern because now it's happening a lot. In last few years, if you look, most of the times it is always India's lower middle or lower order which is rescuing India. Whether we have Rishabh Pant, Ravindra Jadeja, Akshay Patel, Ashwin, they were rescuing India, and Indian top orders were not able to make runs, irrespective of whether match was happening in India or in overseas. So India have to think about it. Playing aggressive is important, but spending more time on the crease is also important. 80 odd runs can easily become 150, 160 if you show that hunger to make more runs, if you show that hunger to grill. Definitely you're not going to get easy runs, you're not going to get easy balls. You will be getting fielders at the place where you can play your good shots, but you have to come up with a solution. In my point of view, definitely it's not that Indian team is going to take a lot of tension about this match, because it has happened. You talk about whether it was Australia, which came last year, or England, which came in 2021. Most of the times, whichever team comes India, they are not able to win series, but they are definitely able to win one odd match. So India will not be that troubled. Also, I'm sure going forward, the pitch which we are going to get is going to have more bounce, rather than this low pitch which we saw in Hyderabad in other test matches like Vizag and other pitch. If it is not going to be a rank turner, definitely it will have more bounce and more spin, so that it can make England batsmen think about sweeping, because when ball is bouncing and turning, it is not that easy to sweep. You can definitely end up losing your wicket if you're sweeping in that way. Also, it's been, Shubham Gill has been given enough opportunities, and definitely he has talent, no doubt. He's pretty talented batsman, but just on the basis of talent, you cannot keep on playing. So he should be dropped. Maybe you can give opportunity to Rajat Patidar to make his debut, or similarly Akshay Patel. No doubt he played some crucial. He scored crucial runs with bat in both the innings, but as a bowler, he is not able to make the same kind of impact which he was able to make in 2021. Every time, and this happened. This is happening quite frequently in Test matches. Seamers are able to. They are creating pressure. Spinners are creating pressure. But whenever Akshay Patel is coming up, he ends up giving a lot of runs. Sometimes in excess of 2 or 3 big shots are played in his 1 over. So I believe he will be dropped, and Kuldeep Yadav will get a chance in Vizag, which is going to start in next few days. I'm sure Indian team is hurt, because they just underestimated India. They just underestimated England, especially after getting that 190 odd runs, and the way they threw their wicket. If not for that 190 runs lead could have been easily around 300 run lead, and then it would have been easier for India to win. So I'm sure Indian team is hurt, and they come up firing all the cylinders and try to win the rest of the 4 matches. So thank you very much for watching this video. Tomorrow I will come up with another video. It is about the way West Indies defeated Australia in Australia. It was Australia's first loss in a day-night test match, and definitely it was amazing cricket. So we will discuss about that tomorrow. Thank you very much for your time, and have a great day ahead. Bye. Take care.